I am a little worried about Liv Morgan, because what if this doesn't happen with Liv Morgan? In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that is, why you should be concerned, and what WWE can do about it. Because Liv Morgan, 2024, it is her year, and we know where they're going with her. We've also seen where we've come so far with Liv Morgan, and it has been a long journey for Liv Morgan and Liv Morgan fans. But finally, after years of start and stop pushes with this woman, the fans who have believed in her have just guided her through this journey, right? And in 2024, we have seen the rise of Liv Morgan, and I credit that because of two things, and one of which is very important for her future, because one was Becky Lynch, right? But the other is Rhea Ripley. And Rhea Ripley not only has started all of this, but that is where we're going. A year ago, Liv Morgan suffered a legitimate injury. WWE wrote her off of television and blamed it on Rhea Ripley. And so when she returns at the Royal Rumble, what does she do? She makes her indications very clear. She makes her intentions very clear by going on the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. And after just kind of floating around and then getting into a notable program with Becky Lynch, then she's going to do a feud with Rhea Ripley. Of course, as we all know, Rhea Ripley injured in a backstage segment with Liv Morgan, AC joint sprained in her shoulder. Now, we go on, Liv Morgan, she beats Becky Lynch in Saudi Arabia for the Women's World title. Boom, she beats her 2 nights later on Monday Night Raw in a steel cage match. Her future and present rely with Rhea Ripley. Now, we know that Rhea Ripley is returning, we just don't know when. For months now, it had been reported, okay, we are going to get Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan at SummerSlam, August 3rd in Cleveland. But then it was reported, well, we don't know if Rhea Ripley is going to be back in time for such a match. Now, I did a previous video talking about potential candidates, potential opponents for Liv Morgan at SummerSlam, because you best believe they're going to want Liv Morgan on this show. The reason that they're going to want Liv Morgan on this show is because she is not only one of their biggest stars on Monday Night Raw, she's arguably their biggest star on Monday Night Raw, outside of your CM Punks of the world. And here's why, because with Cody Rhodes going from Raw to SmackDown, they need a top star. And when you're opening and closing and you're having multiple segments throughout the show with various characters, you are the top star on such a brand. When you are on the marquees, the top graphics for a show, you are the top star. So this is what I'm concerned about. This is something, what if WWE doesn't do this? What if Rhea Ripley is not cleared in time to do a match with Liv Morgan? What if she does not appear at SummerSlam to confront Liv Morgan? Well, I think you have to pivot. And I think you have to pivot very, very quick, right? As we're recording this video, on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw, Liv and Dominant Mysterio teamed up against Zelina Vega and Rey Mysterio in a mixed tag team match. Now, we just saw Liv go over Zelina in a women's world title championship defense. She's already feuding with Zelina. This is what I think is going to happen. I think this is going to set the tone very, very clearly, and I think this is where we're going to know what WWE is doing. If there is a interesting finish in this match, if there is Liv Morgan losing or Dominant Mysterio losing, if they're getting pinned, Dominant's probably going to take the pinfall. I can easily see we're going to know by the end of Monday Night Raw this week. If Liv wins, then they're going to go and we're going to get Rhea Ripley's return. If Liv loses, we might get a rematch with Zelina Vega and Liv Morgan, right? Because you wouldn't be feuding these two for no reason if you're not going to do it at SummerSlam. If you don't even go in that direction, and if you don't get the Rhea Ripley match, I would wait because you don't want to do a quick build with her and Io Sky, who I think is the best candidate for Liv at this point in time. You don't want to do a 2-week build for such a match at SummerSlam. I would leave Liv Morgan off of the SummerSlam card. I would have her do something. I would have her do a segment, whatever. But I don't know if I would book a title defense with Liv Morgan if it's not against Zelina or if it's not against Rhea. And arguably, I don't know if I would want to see a Liv Morgan-Rhea Ripley feud on a 2-week build either. And I understand they've been building it for months, but I mean, like, on television, you have the two women. They're going back and forth. They're doing promos. They're doing backstage attacks. They're doing confrontations, stare downs, various angles that we get to see on a weekly basis on Monday Night Raw. That is such a big freaking program, right? And now I've talked about how I believe a Liv Morgan-Rhea Ripley match can absolutely headline a pay-per-view event. Not a SummerSlam, not a Royal Rumble, but I can see them definitely headlining a B-level pay-per-view. If they have the right build, sure, you could see a WrestleMania main event, right? Because things have changed. I've talked about this before where WWE has made it very clear that they are shifting towards their bigger PLEs or big fours or big fives, in my opinion. And honestly, I think, like Matt Hardy, he was talking about this on his podcast recently. He still thinks Survivor Series is one of the big fours. He doesn't consider Money in the Bank to be. I do. Because we've already seen WrestleManias go to 2-night events. We're seeing SummerSlams go to 2-night events. And you can do the exact same thing with Money in the Bank. You can do the exact same thing with Royal Rumble. You could arguably do the same thing with Survivor Series. Here's how. On night 1, you have women's Royal Rumble match, women's Money in the Bank match, women's War Games match. The second night, then you have the men, or vice versa, however you want to do it. With all that being said, we've seen women headline WrestleMania before. We've seen the triple threat in 2019 at WrestleMania 35 with Becky Lynch going over Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. We've seen at WrestleMania in 2021 with with Bianca Belair and Mercedes Moné. We've seen it. Let me know down in the comments area below, what do you think WWE should do with Liv Morgan? Hey y'all, real quick, make sure you join the movement and join everyone in obliterating that notification bell so you are notified every single time we upload new wrestling